I started talking about a lot of different topics, but I already knew that me filming right now is not gonna turn out how I want to be. And I think the past couple days, maybe, I felt a little less like I was seeking. I think a lot of the time, I'm always searching. Like, I'm always searching for answers. Like, I'm super interested in, like, trying to figure out just how our world works, how our reality works, how we work within it. And I love that. Like, I love the pursuit of knowing that or attempting to know that because I'm not sure there's ever a way of actually figuring that out with our worldly brains. But I go through phases then where I'm just not in that headspace, and a lot of times I feel like I'm losing something. And even me trying to film videos before this, which had completely different topics, I felt like I'm losing my perspective, like I'm losing my lens. Like when I'm not actively in that headspace of seeking, I have such a hard time putting into words what I'm thinking or feeling because that lens is just missing. So I went through like a little bit of like frustrations because I was trying to film a video and it just was not coming to me. Like nothing was really coming to me properly, even though I had the topics ready, but I just couldn't grasp them really the way I would usually do. But then I took a step back and I was like, well, it's not really fair towards myself and my life experience to feel like I'm only having a good time or like I'm only good enough if I'm constantly in this lens of seeking and understanding and like trying to spread my thoughts. And I was also thinking like the moments that I felt most at peace, like I'm blessed enough that I've had moments in this life where something happens and I can never put my finger on what those moments need to look like because they're always different. But the moments that I felt an incredible sense of peace in were never moments where I was actively seeking, nor where I was getting an answer for any of those questions that I'm usually pursuing. The moments that I felt most peace in were moments where the questions themselves lost gravity. It was like life in that moment moved from my brain to my soul. And as simple as it sounds, we need to remind ourselves, and I need to remind myself, that life, as much as we attempt to intellectualize it, and it helps to intellectualize it, it helps to put it into a language that we can understand and share with others. But life is meant to be experienced first and foremost. It's like love, for example, as well. Like you can describe in words what love feels like, you can attempt to do that, but you have to be it. Like you have to be in it to really know what it's like. Like your words will never fully translate into the experience. Me viewing my introspection as more valuable than just my actual experience in life, where introspection just isn't at the forefront of things, is my own lens. I'm bringing whatever pain I feel from that upon myself by choosing to frame it as such. I'm choosing to frame this one thing as more worthy when really they're both sides of the same thing. And I just literally said, and I know that the best moments I've experienced in life had nothing to do with linguistically answering questions. This just shows me that my pursuit of knowing and like trying to make sense of things, while I love it, and I don't think it takes away from me loving it or from it being valuable, but I do think it's also my way of coping in a world where there's so many more questions than answers. So the best I can do is to get as close to the answers as I can get, and that makes me feel a little more sane. And on the other hand, when I'm not doing that and I feel bad about it, it just kind of shows a lack of trust in the fabric of life itself. There are many more ways in life to learn other than just intellectualizing experience, and this mechanism applies to healing as well. And I think it's the exact same thing as, and I talk about this a lot in this channel as well, is healing doesn't happen in a vacuum. It doesn't happen away from life. It doesn't happen in your own bubble and in just listening to a whole bunch of content about how to change your life and become a more healed version of yourself. It comes from just living, going out there and being brave enough to take life as it comes. I think a lot of chronic overthinkers and like ruminators might relate with what I'm saying, because there is a certain comfort in just being in your brain, even though ruminating isn't necessarily fun and neither is overthinking, but there is a certain sense of comfort in just being in your own little bubble and like trying to figure things out by yourself, and kind of also feeling like you're protecting yourself from potential harm, and because you're already going through a whole bunch of scenarios in your head and you're already pictured a lot of things that can go wrong. But no amount of overthinking, no amount of ruminating, no amount of intellectualizing life will ever replace just going out there and just living it. And I think ultimate self-trust comes from exactly that. It comes from trusting yourself that even if you can't intellectualize every single scenario and you're not braced for absolutely anything that might go wrong, you still have enough confidence to know that you can correct, you can course correct as it happens. You don't figure life out in a vacuum and then bring that out into the world. It doesn't always happen like that. Like, it goes completely hand in hand, side by side. So I think the way we should look at it, instead of thinking that when life takes us down a different path than we're used to, or we don't really quite feel like ourselves, I think we should take it as an invitation to find out more about ourselves. Like, we take it as an invitation to free ourselves from the shackles of the identity that we think we have and we are. The same way I said earlier, if I don't cut it out, the same way we can never really know what reality is and how it works, I think there is also so much more to ourselves that we can ever really fully figure out. So it's always a gift to find out new sides of ourselves, to walk different paths, or like walk the same path but like walk it differently, like change up your step a little bit. And learning is not always intellectualizing equations, logic. It's just being present in the moment and observing what life is giving you. Honestly, I think this is way more of a just personal life entry, diary entry type video, and I'm sorry if you expected something else, but I genuinely can only talk from my heart, and I couldn't force myself to just pick a different topic and like just artificially talk about it if I feel like this is truly what I need to put out there, or this is really what I can only genuinely authentically put out there right now. I really hope that this makes sense to you and that you can maybe relate with it and resonate with it. As always, take care, and I'll see you very soon. Bye.